balance is the new beauty. You need to be glowing. Your skin has to be healthy. Doesn't have to have filters on it. So we need to understand our skin as per our climate and then act accordingly. You cannot consider a girl from South Korea and think that we'll have a skin like her. We cannot have it.
How you define Tulaira in one word?
Experience.
Wow.
Tulaira is India's first brand of bridal makeovers and wellness center.
One trend that will die in 3 years.
Glass skin,
Yeah.
that will definitely die in 3 years.
How do you find Tula in your day?
10 minutes silence before I start the day.
Hello audience. Welcome to D2C Stories, the future of D2C told through stories powered by expert. Today our expert is Priya Agarwal, founder of Tulaira, a tech-enabled hybrid wellness ecosystem refining what premium at-home beauty services means. So, hello Priya, welcome to the show.
Hi, Vaniji. Thank you so much.
Good to have you. So, as I came to that you are from Kharagpur, and as you know, I am from Midnapur, very nearby town, and I
Yes.
did my studies in Kharagpur. Like my schooling was in Kharagpur. So, tell us about Kharagpur. How was your life at this small town? So, share some memories from Kharagpur.
So Kharagpur, like my half of life is in Kharagpur. I have my all beautiful memories, pleasant memories in Kharagpur. My schooling was done from KVIIT, and we live in nearby railway station, 1.5 kilometer away. I live in a joint family, a very, very huge, giant joint family. Nowadays, people can call it a society as well. But
Yeah.
25, 30 members in a family. That was a permanent members. And then to and fro every day, 10, 15 members used to come and go every day. So that was the chaotic stuff. Nowadays, if you talk to any kid, Gen Z especially, they'll say, oh no, I cannot live in a society. So that way I grew up.
Any ideal Marwari family will look like that. Yeah, I can
Yes,
relate
yes.
with that.
So and since I stayed with my grandmother, I was privileged to live with her also for some time. So I know the traditional language Marwari very well. And since I lived in Bengal, I learned Bengali as well and learned business from childhood with my dad. So
Yeah.
my best man I can describe my pleasant memories is because of Kharagpur, because of my dad only. So
Yeah.
being in a conservative Marwari family, you know how they are, right? So still, despite of that, coming up, doing research, studying outside of Kharagpur, all over India, roaming about. It was all because of my parents only.
What business your dad is into?
My dad was into, like, we have a joint family, so we have many businesses. Since starting my childhood, if I say, we used to have spices mill, we used to have dhan mill, and then atta chakki, and then groceries. And apart from that, rice, dal, whatever you need. And then
Yeah.
the cow shed and all those stuffs also is there. So now then slowly, steadily with time, business got divided into brothers and all. So my dad was looking into rice mill and the cattle field wala stuff. So those stuffs he used to take care, yeah. And I also handled those business directly with him. Like solely he left me. I'm leaving out for a month and I will check how do you handle it. Like bringing the products from the Mahajan and then selling it off, handling the people and all those stuff. This was all my practicals I had to do with him.
Sure. And after Kharagpur, you completed your graduation from which city?
So after Kharagpur schooling, I went to Vishakhapatnam. That was my graduation. I did my BSc in biotechnology. And from there, I was always an anchor kind of a person. In my college, I used to host all the programs and all since
Yeah.
college time only. So my fascination was like towards journalism or anchorism. But like dad was like, no, like little bit formal education. This you can do as a part time as well. So then
Yeah.
I did apply for this Agriculture University, selected there, did my MSc in bioinformatics from Allahabad. And during that time, I was also selected in Hyderabad for CCMB. There I did 2 months of internship, Lucknow, Delhi. This way I roamed about during my education and then completed my master's. In my master's, I did top my university. So I was awarded with silver medal. And then I was also awarded with DST Inspire Fellowship. From there, DST Inspire Fellowship, I came back to Calcutta and then started my PhD, the research life in Calcutta from Calcutta University. So that
Wow.
went, then got married and was there
Sure.
in Calcutta only since then.
That's lovely story and a typical like from Kharagpur now running your own business in Calcutta and
Yeah.
doing so well. It's so like I'm so proud on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell me, Tulaira, so where the story begins, when you thought, uh, definitely being from like Marwari family, managing your dad's business, it was always there ki you will start something from your like from childhood only. So that I
Yeah.
understand. But when it really continued, like when you thought ki you will start Tulaira, and why Tulaira?
Yeah. So basically, while doing my research, since I told like my dad and me kind of an inseparable people. Even I was in Kolkata and he was in Kharagpur. We were planning that he'll shift down to Kolkata with me. I used to come for a long duration, and we were planning on and off that apart from with my studies. How do I use this research abilities and start a startup or kind of a business? So I was researching during that time, and in 2019, I started a small store, physical store, which was a cafe cum salon. So that was a nail art cum cafe salon in 2019. That I started like with my dad only, and during my PhD life. And then life happened. 2019, I started back to back COVIDs, compounding COVID impact. The sad part, I lost him as well in 2020. I lost
Oh,
my father. That was a major setback of my life. So in 2022, I happened to close the physical store. That was the silence setbacks, you can say. But then we were pivoting during the COVID time. And then I thought, no, we need to pivot it at a home salon. 2 years, I did some pivoting part, some stabilization part. And after 2 years, then I realized, no, like people are in desperate need of that pause, that luxury, that private, that sanctuary they need, where their time can be valued, their sanity can be valued. So then the birth of Tulaira happened in
yeah.
2025. Yeah.
So, what do you mean by Tulaira? How the word Tulaira came from?
So the name is quite intentional itself. Since I'm talking about the private, bespoke sanity, my time, and luxury. So Tulaira stands with two words, Tula. It is derived from Sanskrit, means balance. And Lyra or Ira is derived from Greek mythology. That means a
Mm.
constellation, a star always shining bright. So
Wow.
that way we come up with Tulaira. And that's where we put our tagline is that balance is the new beauty.
Wow, that's a very beautiful tagline, very relevant also. And it is coming from Sanskrit plus Greek, two different side of the
Two
world.
different, yes, yes.
Yeah, really nice, really nice. So, why beauty? You said that you started some a cafe salon in 2019. Like from all the studies you have done, which is like in bioscience and all those things. And so, how you switched to beauty? So, what was the transition like?
So the transition was like since during 2019, I told I started with that nail art cum
Yeah,
cafe wala salon.
yeah, yeah.
So during that time, I started lot of researching into this salon line a lot. And being a female, like I'm always attracted, like I'm an anchor, so I need to be presentable, my stage, my skin issues. And during that time, I was only catering the clients personally. So they had lot of complaints. I have this skin issues. I'm going to salon, not affecting, not getting this. For the nails also, they had lot of complaints. This is not working. That is not working. Personally, I used to give them consultation. With that, I thought, no, there is a gap kind of part where people are ready to pay premium, we're ready to pay extra, but they want that quality, that trust they're looking for. So that way I thought like, why not into beauty? And since I had that research angle, my bio was my part, science. So I thought I can research into products line also in this case. So that way, and being a female, that attraction kept in beauty only.
Definitely, definitely. So, what does balance is the new beauty? What does this mean? What is the deep meaning of that?
So nowadays you feel that people are chasing, this glass skin, Korean skin. This is a
Yeah,
trend nowadays. Yeah. Everyone is chasing. But what I feel like this will have to have a stop. Like a glass skin, finally it's in India, right? We are living in India where we have to go to a kitchen as well. We have to travel. We have to go to workspace with this humid climate and all. We cannot have that glass skin kind of a stuff. So that's what I meant is like your inner balance when your mind is at peace and your skin is healthy. Then you get that glow. That's what you mean. Balance is the new beauty. You need to be glowing. Your skin has to be healthy. Doesn't have to have filters on it. So we need to understand our skin as per our climate and then act accordingly. You cannot consider a girl from South Korea and think that we will have a skin like her. We cannot have
yeah.
it. So that's why the name is Balance is a New Beauty. And we all are running to meet our ends. Like everyone is running. We don't have a peace, a pause for ourselves. 10 minutes time, if we take a break, we start feeling guilty. Oh no,
Yeah.
we have wasted 10 minutes. So
Right.
that that way you can keep doing your work. You can plan your work. People will come down to yourself and you can trust them and have your private sanctuary. Plan it with your mother, plan with your father, your friends, anyway.
Sure, that's very like noble vision, I will say. So tell me how Tulada is fundamentally different from other aggregator platforms, जो और भी market में, how it is different from them?
कैसे डिफरेंट है ना लाइक एग्रीगेटर्स के केस में क्या होता है दे गिव यू अ मैच इट्स लाइक एन अ मैच मेकर यू आर लुकिंग फॉर अ सर्विस दे help you meet a gig worker and they come, they do it. Next time again you book, someone else will come down. You don't know who's coming. You don't have any personal connect or talking terms. So
Yeah.
here, what we are trying to build, we are trying to build a sanctuary, an ecosystem where training will be ours, quality will be controlled by us, product will be ours, and entire methodology will be ours. And plus, we'll be giving you a bespoke consultation. Suppose we are the first brand in India where we are trying to place ourselves as in bridal makeovers, right? Client is booking for a bridal makeover from us, it's a huge trust she's placing on us
True.
for her big day.
Yeah.
So for our big day, spending 3 hours with her and also before series of video consultation, how her look should be, what dress should be wearing, what jewelry, what look, and then spending 3 hours on that day or making her look beautiful. We are sparing kind of a connection, a human connection, a warmth. That way, we are trying to build a different a luxury ecosystem here. We're not trying to keep orders more important. We're trying to keep client as their time more important.
Yeah. So I do believe that Indian beauty and wellness industry is growing like rapidly, like huge. But
Yes.
I do agree, quality inconsistency remains major gap. As you
Yes.
said, also like when we are taking from aggregator, there are different technicians every time. So yeah, that's a good problem to solve. Now coming to CAC. So as I understand, for this particular industry, so it completely depends on word of mouth or how you take care of like how you are acquiring customer.
Right now, honestly, I'll say I'm acquiring customer mostly through word of mouth. One customer coming up, they're liking it, they are staying back, and then they are also talking to their friends and referring. They're also coming through different groups. Also, people have started knowing, and then they are referring each other, and that way they're coming. And once they are taking the service, this was to my surprise. Since I already told I did 2 years of stabilizing and pivoting, that time also I realized there is a demand. So people are coming back on their own. On 20th day or 25th day, they are messaging or they're directly booking that I booked my service. Please take care. Entirely their So this way, now the CAC has been like, now this CAC is on trust, I guess. We have cracked that part where people are trusting that it's not a gig worker, it's from Tulaira. That Tulaira standard we are trying to maintain.
Sure. So coming to this, can you tell us a little more about your services and products? And I guess you have both services and products, and in a very unique model, you have bundled them together and
Yes.
taking both together into the market. So first, you can speak about your services and product you offer and how you are approaching them together.
Okay. So basically, since I talked about luxury salon services, so first we are focused more on bridal makeovers and bridal packages, like the first brand, where in general, if you see why I'm talking about first brand, in general, if you see there are freelancers, makeup artists, or there is a salon you have to go on your biggest
Sure.
day.
Yeah.
So here we are catering as a first brand. You don't have to worry about the makeup artist coming on time, who's doing what. The brand is taking care completely. About the packages we talk about, we are giving nail art, we're giving mehendi, we're giving skin, many, even permanent tattoo at your doorstep. Also for the grooms, the services are available. So the groom packages, if the groom wants the makeover on the big day or normal day also want a spa, a facial or pedicure, manicure, tattoo as well. Entirely it's been customized for each individual as per their requirement. So, and apart from that, if you feel like, no, Priya, I'm already married now, I need a service. Definitely for a Sunday or a single day, if a person want to book a pampering session, they can book directly from our website. Now, during the services and during my journey, I realized that people are having a lot of issues on uneven skin tone, on pigmentation. And there were certain females complaining, though, no, we are pregnant, we cannot go for this treatment, we cannot take this facial. And we look for something safe for moms. Or I've just delivered a baby, now I'm looking. So then we launched a product like face oils and spa oils. which is taking care on your pigmentation, uneven skin tone, hydration, those part. We have very limited SKUs, 6 face cleansers, those part, and we are utilizing it in our services only. Like during the makeup, we are prepping with our face oils. That is the best makeup prep. With time, the face is more glowing. And then during the facials, we are using the face oils for your hydration part. And if people like on the spot, they're going for that aromatherapy, we have that aromatherapy part in our oils products. So they're liking it and they're ordering it themselves. That can we use it on our own as well? Definitely they can. So that way we have mixed up the products and services are combo pack.
Wow. So in your products, your service session is becoming a demo for your products
Product.
also.
Yes.
And frequently it is converting into sales also, like people are
Yes.
buying.
Yes. Yeah.
So
People are buying.
where are Tulera products available right now?
Right now, we are planning to list it on our website only first. Amazon, Blinkit haven't been listed because we are not doing directly D2C as of now. Not
Okay.
running on the CAC for that. Like that will be a high-end CAC, right? Burning on ads or anything. So right now we are directly selling through the customers, and when customers are willing that I need the product, so we are directing to the website and they are purchasing it through the website.
Okay. Now, when we are discussing, you mentioned something called 50-point SOP. So can you elaborate that also? Like what exactly it is?
Basically, we have a protocol of training kind of a stuff, which all the partners who are there with us, we give them a 60-hour training protocol. There are a lot of stuffs in that, like how to, from the time moment you enter the client, how to behave, how to dress, to how to present yourself, how the demo, how to unpack. While leaving, also need to check that there is no trace that you have come down to this place. So entirely all the steps we have mentioned so that this is been mimicked every time. How do I give you the luxury service every time, right? There can be a change of partner sometime. Then this has to be replicated. And then we need to replicate into different cities as well. So that way we have made this 50 touch point SOP. And like we're starting off with the academy also, where skill development and this personality development with this 50 touch point SOP entirely will give you a package to all the partners.
Wow. So we do follow such kind of system like when we are launching a website or e-commerce site.
Yes.
But I don't think we have 50 points. We have lesser than 50, I guess. So every beauty session you are following 50-point SOP. That's really awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
These people, it has to be in their muscle memory. Like they are coming
Yeah.
from the village area, interior areas of Kolkata, south, exterior, very much interior, like Nadia, Murshidabad. So these people, if you put them in their muscle memory, they're like robotic. They'll keep functioning the same way.
Wow. So I understand that, but I will ask this question. So you mentioned that you have 40% repeat rate.
Yes.
So what is driving that?
Yeah, I guess our service quality, and mostly I'll say that human level connection and the feeling when we leave out. Clients do message after 10 days that we have a system where service reminders trigger after 10 days or 15 days, like how's the service? We missed you. It's been 15 days. So client do send their pictures saying that it's completely intact so far. The nails are all good. I'll take it after 7 days and this, that.
Yeah.
And mostly people know me, I must say. So they also mentioned that I'll connect with Priya, give her a big thank you. The consultation was very nice, something like that. So that way, I guess, like I told you in initial conversation also, they are coming back on their own. And then this is our surprise. So that way, we are just keeping focus on our service quality and the experience we provide. That cannot be compromised.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really relatable, and I'm happy that all this effort is also giving you good result, because as far I know, if you can just retain like 5%, like month on month, if you can retain your 5% customer, and you will easily grow your profit by 25% to 50%, and
Aram se.
you are retaining more than 40%. That's awesome. I am sure you will have those numbers reflected in your business also very soon.
Yes.
So lovely about. So tell me about technology you are using right now. When I was discussing, I saw that you are deep into technology. You are building your own algorithm. So tell us a little more about that. So how you are empowering your business via technology.
So basically, I am trying to build a clarity engine kind of a stuff. This beauty entire stuff is morely subjective. Like, suppose I'm giving an example. If you book a service from Tulaira, whatever I suggest her, suppose, or my beautician suggests her, anyone from my team, she'll buy that. She'll say, yeah. Or she'll have an argument that, no, I use this. Can you give me this? Okay, whatever client says, and we give. People generally do that. Or she's walking into a salon, whatever the beautician says, ye acha lagega, wo acha lagega, she go by that and she pays whatever is. Now, this is completely subjective. Now, what we are trying to do is data driven. Okay. Now, saying, if I say you that your skin, I think your skin is dry. In comparison to that, the algorithm says that your hydration level is at this percentage of your skin and then recommends you. This becomes more data driven. So this is what
Definitely.
I'm trying to build here, and clarity engine kind of a stuff for your skin and hair, where you are having a proper report of your skin and then you take an informed decision. And then of course the beauticians are there to guide you which is best.
So how you test that? Like how the algorithms work?
So this is in process yet. We haven't built it so far. But yes, the people are there. There will be a sample data, 2000 sample data. And then through AI, artificial intelligence, we will have certain questions on our website or on an app. And then people will answer those questions, whatever they know about the skin type, dry, combination. There will be certain set of questions, 6. After 6 questions, then there will be a scanning of image and your face will be scanned. Upon your permission, you can save that image, or you don't want to save, you can click that. And then they give you your skin card report, like your health report. They give you a skin health report.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a believer that technology is not a substitute of humans.
Yes.
Just amplification is there, and I believe if you can build this, I will definitely will like to part of this and see how it is building and how it is helping.
I would love to have you with us if you are
Definitely.
building that tech. Definitely.
Sure. Now, coming to AI, so you already mentioned that you are trying to create this algorithm. Beyond that, any algorithm, any AI tools or AI systems you're using right now for your operations?
Yes, a lot. I am right now, like AI is my now next co-founder, marketer, everything is AI right now. So like just for normal browsing or something, ChatGPT I use, but whereas for deep research and all, I use Gemini. And if you use Gemini integrated with Google AI Studio, that gives you a vast playground. You can have lot of gems you can create, and you can also check your temperature and set up how much command you needed in general. So those stuffs. And apart from that, Canvas AI I use for visual storytelling and all.
Yeah. So coming to your model, I saw that you are also trying to expand in heritage hotels and luxury resorts. Can you share your vision on that?
Okay, so that is like, since we have launched our product, I told you face oils and spa oils.
Yeah.
So since we have our own spa oils and we have this forte of all the experience and everything, I'm looking for a B2B contract kind of a stuff. This is will be a B2B channel completely.
Okay. Okay.
So far we are doing it B2C, right? So with tie up with the hotels and all, if they want to outsource their spa contract completely to Tulaira, we'll be taking care of entirely from the product to the experience, everything. So generally heritage hotels do that. Certain heritage hotels, they want to have it in-house, and certain want to have outsourced. So these way we are trying to have a contract kind of a stuff. This will also help us have a brand trust more and also have a good experience and also increase our revenue.
Yeah, sure. So right now you're operating in Calcutta or any other cities you're operating right now?
No, we are operating in Calcutta as of now, but for bridal makeovers and packages, we are pan India. We take orders if like from Patna, Visakhapatnam, anywhere order come, we do take. But we are right now based on Calcutta. We are trying maybe by 26 end, we are planning to have 2 to 3 cities in timeline.
So how do you plan to maintain your quality? And I definitely believe that 50-step SOP definitely is going to help. But
Yes.
beyond that, how are you going to maintain your quality while you're scaling nationally in different cities?
So in different cities, firstly, we'll have office, a training kind of a center. In each city, we'll have that one. This will not be a completely an aggregator model. There will be a certain layer of people who will be on pay scale. So those people who are on your pay scale, they are loyal to the company. They're getting benefits from the company. So there, that way, this 50 touch point SOP is there. That will be a playbook to replicate easily. There'll be a training centers all over each city wherever we are expanding. And plus the products which we'll be using for facials and other stuff, that will be also to Lyra signatures itself. We will be doing that as well. We are in talks right now. And plus the training part, what we are doing, we will be getting the certificates from Beauty and Wellness Council. So that way we'll have a certain India standard. People coming to you are not random rookie or random gig worker, they're certified people. So that way
Definitely.
we're trying to quality control, and there is an internal assessment also we have, where every week we are assessing them, how's their performance, what's their growth, and if they are maintaining, able to build the clients year on year, they are getting extra increment on that. So that way the quality internally is also been assessed.
Sure, sure. So one of your idea, like which excites me a lot, because I love the thought of setting up your own beauty academy. So can you talk a little more about that? Because that is something which I am really very excited about.
So the academy is like, you can say, a kind of a field. I had an expertise on that. I know that this will be my moat all in all, this academy. Entirely, you talked about the quality control and everything, right? So basically, I'm focused more on culture building. It depends how you build the entire team, the culture building. Since right now I've built 20 members, they are there. So now these 20 will convert into 200. That's my target. Now, if I start onboarding this on the academy, the students, fresh minds from the village interior, this will also empower them. They'll have a good livelihood, they can earn. Plus, they can learn from these experienced people who have an experience of 25 years, 20 years in the industry. And apart from that, not only the skill development, we are also giving them personality development, plus this 50 touch point SOP, and also 2 to 3 sessions of field experiences. How you need to go to your client place, how you set up, how you do those stuffs. So practical experiences also will be provided. So this way, I'm trying to build this academy soon. Maybe by March we'll start off. That's the plan.
So what kind of graduates or what kind of people you are trying to hire in your academy before you turn them into experts? Like any qualification required?
No qualification required. Just that they should have an interest that they want to build a career in makeup, or they want to build a career in nail art. They want to be a good brand nail artist. There can be a passion like, I want to open a nail studio. No point. They can come down, they can learn, and we will provide the certification also. Will support entirely in their career. Even they are not associated with Tolaira, but wherever they need help in their life, in their journey to set up a studio, how to hire the technicians, will help entirely because they are from our academy.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. So I run my office in Midnapur, as you are aware of. So it
Yes.
is very difficult to get skilled labor here. Like if you want
Yes.
coders, senior coders, it's very difficult. So I do have a small setup here where we hire fresh graduates from colleges and we
Yes.
train for 3 months in the team.
In
And
the team.
before, like it's like a on-job training, OJT. But we in these 3 months, and we have seen that most of this time, like the idea was to prepare them to make them ready for Blue Horse, but we have realized that by the time of like 3 months complete, they find 10 different opportunities outside also, and
They
we
will find.
completely acknowledge that, appreciate that.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Wherever they find good growth, like, it's okay completely. But that 3 months training you will find more beneficial than hiring people from outside.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So coming to you as a leader, like as you are like in your entrepreneur journey, so tell me your anchoring background, how it is helping you into your entrepreneurship, and tell me a little about, because we met each other when you were like anchoring somewhere, and
Yes.
I met you there, and it was
Yes.
really, you were like, you were a pro there, right? So I wanted to understand how you grew that, like how you become so good on that, number one, and how it is helping you in your entrepreneurship.
So anchoring is nothing like I have learned. Honestly, I haven't done any course on that. But yeah, I told you since childhood, like, this was like given a playground given by my dad. Like, talk to the customer. The customers are there, and he had a rice mill, right? So those people used to come from village. You need to be soft spoken. You cannot be rude. You need to understand their feelings. Offer them a glass of water. These empathy and these stuffs are always taught since my childhood. If a person, they are carrying sacks on the back, and they're putting up
Yeah,
on the cart wheel, and then they're
yeah,
putting it, bringing down to my shop. So this is a hard labor. Then dad used to teach, like, you need to offer them a glass of water. If there are fruits at home, you can offer them. That doesn't matter. That way you build connection with them. They come back to you again. So talking, being extrovert, starting from initial, from childhood only, I used to talk. And then once I started my graduation in Vishakhapatnam, my teachers like called me suddenly. I will give all the credit to her only always. She called me and told that, you remind me of Trishna, some South Indian heroine,
yeah.
and you will do that anchoring part, and I'll give you the dressing sense, and you have to do it. And she set me on the stage, and I started it off. I don't know, somehow identified the talent in me.
Definitely.
And I did that anchoring, you won't believe, from 6 p.m. to morning 5 a.m. non-stop.
Wow. Wow.
Or more than almost 12 hours, you can say. Non-stop, I did it. And then when I got down on the stage, she just kissed my forehead that you turned my dream into reality. And then since then, I'm doing anchoring all over colleges, my college projects, debate competition. And then after coming to Kolkata also, I love this. Like, you asked me to do tomorrow also an anchoring show on random, I'll do it. So then I thought, why not? I can do it as professionally. So then I started it. And in business and my entrepreneurship, it's helping a lot because that voice I have where I can talk to the people and they trust on me. That trust, they rely on me. No, Priya, tomorrow is my marriage. You take care of my nails. This is my outfit. I don't want to bother. Just send the people. That trust, this I get it, I guess, through my anchoring vision only because I can talk, I can convince them, and definitely they're happy about it.
Yeah, I think this is great because even if you remember this D2C Insider event,
Yes.
there were approx 200 founders were
Yeah.
there in that place, and you were anchoring. And I'm sure all 200 founders knew that Priya is the lady and to reach
Yeah.
out whenever you wanted to any beautiful.
I hope
Yeah,
they
yeah,
remember me. I hope that for the same. But I loved that energy on that day. So many
yeah,
people talking to that. And mostly I remember almost all the people and problems and all the discussion. It was really great. Some of them
definitely.
have approached me as well, like if I can market their brand and all.
Yeah. Sure, is it? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I hope you find a way to reconnect with the founders, with the contact you
Yes,
have
yes.
created that day. That is
Yeah.
something which is very important. Else you will just create a lead, but you are not converting them.
Yeah,
It.
no
So
point.
you have to,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
it's very important to find their numbers, reach out to them with your
Yeah.
services. It's very
Yes.
important. So that's really nice to know about like whatever you are doing, like doing multiple things. You are planning for academy also. If someone, a young kid wanted to build something into premium service brand, what should they focus on first? Like what will be your advice, like 3-step advice for them to start their own brand?
So they should know like whom they want to serve, like what kind of a luxury they want to build, either in beauty, either in food. First, that category has to be identified. And if that's finalized, then they want to understand that what kind of a segment market they want to. Like all will not go for luxury. This is for true. And then people have questions, like they have questions for me as well. Like how will you scale if it's not fast, it's not cheap? Then how will you scale? And you that person has to be confident about that. That no, luxury will also scale 20 times. Like if a service you take of 390 and I'm taking 3000, it's like you can understand like the price difference, right? So the first category they have to define. Second, they have to understand whom they are serving. And third, their proper research has to be there. To and fro, up and down, all the research, what the competitors, what's the landscape, everything in and out, खोल के पी जाना जिसको बोलते हैं, that way.
That's nice. Yeah, that's very quick and very nice. Like input, like anyone should, like if they wanted to plan, first they need to understand which customer they are selling to. So it's
Yes.
very important to understand, and then they plan and they R&D on that. Now, tell me, you are doing both service and products. So if someone reaching out, like what will you suggest, service or product? Which one to start first?
Service, of course. Any day service. Once you go for service, you build the trust, you reach to end customer, and then you hand over whatever to them. They'll trust you.
Oh, yeah, that's really well connected. But tell me one thing, throughout your entrepreneur journey, what are the few mistakes you did and you wanted others to avoid? Can you share some?
Yeah, I will ask them not to take the pressure of being everywhere present. That's a very bad pressure I have taken. Like, I have to go there, I have to do this, I have to be there. No, you have to be sometime like less available. That creates more value, I guess.
Sure,
So that's
sure.
the major mistake I have made. I guess people should avoid this.
Okay. You are into luxury. So can you tell in India what luxury really mean? Like what truly mean today? Like when you say luxury.
So for many people, luxury means like if I say if you go to a salon and like a physical salon, for them luxury means a golden high stage nameplate or an expensive wallpaper. Or for them, some people means luxury means status. But like for me, luxury means your valuable time. Your precious time is your luxury. That experience, the experience you gain from that valuable time, that person can give you an hour of your life. That is luxury.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's very well defined. Now we are getting into like final segment, but here we will be talking about quick answers, like kind of rapid fire. So how you define Tulara in one word?
Experience.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
solid. Then how will you define all Tulara is doing in 20 seconds?
Tulaira is basically a tech-enabled wellness ecosystem. It's an India's first brand of bridal makeovers and wellness center. That's what I can say,
Why you call it a ecosystem?
because it's an ecosystem where you don't have to rush here and there. It's a complete one-stop solution. You ask for it, you name for it, and we are there for you.
Okay, sure. So one window is everything
Everything
related.
is available. Yes, yes. Everything is available.
So luxury or scale, which one will you select?
I will select luxury with scalability.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice. Really nice. So Instagram Reels versus word of mouth, which working better for you?
Word of mouth, of course. But again, if a reel gets viral, who minds that?
Yeah. Sure. So what is the
Acha.
one thing traditional salons get wrong about luxury?
I told about that, right? They think about a golden nameplate or an expensive wallpaper in their salon is like a luxury. Like, that's not luxury. That's luxury is like someone's time when they're giving you their trust, they're giving you. That's luxury.
Sure. One thing you miss about being a full-time anchor.
Immediate applause. A 5-star review from a client is a second close one.
Sure. Your favorite product from the Tulara organic line?
My Vanakam face oil. That's a hero product, I must say. And it's not only a product, it's a professional toolkit we have in our right now in our arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So three AI tools that you use every day and you think every woman founder should use.
Yeah, I told like this chat GPT, like for random browsing or stuff, and Gemini for deep research, and also your Canva AI using for virtual story and everything. That's great. And I'm using it regularly. Without this, I cannot start my day.
Wow. Sure. One trend that will die in 3 years.
Glass skin,
Yeah.
that will definitely die in 3 years. You need a resilient skin. Like that should take over. Being in India, right?
Sure. And one trend which you think will be like huge in coming future?
I guess AI, that will be moving very fast. And if we learn to get it, attain that, the experience on that, then no one can stop you growing.
So what is Tulara's vision for 2030?
So we are trying to build such a brand where product can be our science and service can be our experience. I told you kind of an ecosystem and trying to build, right? So that way we are trying to build a brand where next when people think about luxury, they'll take name of Tulara.
So when you see your service segment and your product segment, which segment you see has a quicker turnaround time or you think which can grow much bigger, faster, service or products?
Right now, honestly, if I say products, I'm not focusing much. Products are a part of a service. So we are focusing on service only. But in future, we can have a separate segment for products. There are will be multiple products where we can place it at as on e-commerce platform.
Sure. So how do you find Tula in your day?
10 minutes silence before I start the day.
Yeah, sure. Biggest myth in beauty industry.
Biggest myth in beauty industry is instant glow. There is nothing instant glow. Beauty is like a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you cannot get anything instant.
Sure. Yeah, I do agree. So if you could anchor a show with a global business leader, who would it be? Yeah.
Sarah Blakely, yeah. She's like, she converted a big loss like into a multi-millionaire stuff. So of
Yeah.
course, definitely her.
Sure. So tell us your favorite beauty brand.
The Ordinary. Like, yes, they're no nonsense and like the first molecule transparency. I like that part a lot.
Okay. If I ask you three of your favorite D2C brand, who will be they?
First is Blue Tea, without any doubt.
Yeah.
That simple blue pea flower they have converted into a wellness sensation. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Second is Whole Truth, which I always have in my bag, like that no BS stuff what you have putting in your body. And the third is Lenskart. Like with your medical necessity, how can one convert this fastest lifestyle fashion brand? It's awesome.
Wow, that was lovely. So with that, we come to an end to our rapid fire. So with that, thank you, Priya. It was lovely connecting. We came to an end. So the insight, the conversation you shared from research to Reliance to from luxury to algorithms, I'm sure a lot of people will learn a lot from Tulera and your experiences. The way you have been like planned, the vision you have about technology, the algorithms. I see a lot of things are there to be built, and you are on the right track. And I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vineet. And thank you for hosting me in this D2C stories. It was a great pleasure of mine. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Priya. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.